Hello and welcome to today's webinar titled Next Generation Storage Solutions for Your Modern Enterprise. My name is Don Lopes. Thank you so much for joining today's session. We've got three wonderful presenters joining us here today, covering our solutions together with Supermicro. So please let me welcome Les, William, and Andy. Thank you, all three of you guys, for joining me here today. I know we've got a lot of really good content we're going to cover, and some really exciting things we're going to let Andy at the very end highlight for us. So thank you guys all for joining. Really appreciate it. Thank you, attendees, for joining today's webinar. A couple housekeeping items before we get into the meat of the presentation. One, we have muted all of your lines just to avoid background noise. But we try to make these as interactive as possible. If you go to your GoToWebinar menu toolbar, you will see the chat section. We'll monitor those questions coming in throughout the entire webinar and try to infuse those into the conversation as much as possible. We've also built a good amount of time at the end for questions and answers also. So if you prefer to hold tight, that is all good on our side. Then the second is, and the question that always comes up the most is, will I get the slides, and is there a recording? So yes to both. We'll have that available for you in about 24 hours. You'll have that in your inbox and available to download the slides and watch or share the webinar with anyone else. So with that, Les, William, Andy, you guys ready to go?
Of course, we are.
Good stuff.
Yep.
So folks, today the meat of the session is really to review and highlight the expansive portfolio in which we have together with Supermicro. Before we get into the specifics on the different solutions and configurations which we have together, we wanted just to do a real brief highlight on Nexenta, the value proposition related to our technology. And although it'll be intertwined into the conversation, we're not going to go in depth into the product portfolio. We do have a number of other webinar sessions that we've recorded earlier this summer that go into each of the different technologies, do demos and all that kind of good stuff. So if you'd like to learn those are always available. We're just going to briefly review some highlights here. So if you look at Nexenta as your solutions and how this may incorporate into your enterprise and some of the value you'd be able to get out of moving forward with a solution from our portfolio. It's really, we look at these 6 core areas where we believe we can really help organizations add value as you look at either migrating, tweaking, or really the future of your storage strategy. So one of the key values we believe we have is really being software only, and you'll find that here today. I mean, we're going to go over so many different technologies, solutions, configurations that fit a wide range of different workloads. Having a software-only solution that allows you to be flexible, run on all those different configurations, and bring a single point of management to all of that, we believe is extremely powerful as organizations look at overall the future of their storage infrastructure. Keeping it simple is something that we've really invested a great deal on, and you'll hear about that not just from the software standpoint, UI, day-to-day configurations and management, but also some of the things we've done in partnership with Supermicro. Enterprise ready. We feel it's important that as you look at developing your storage strategy to have all those key features into your solutions, and we believe we really have the right feature set for your business. We understand with the growing needs of an organization and growing needs of storage, being able to do that in a smart fashion from a budgetary standpoint is important, and we believe the partnership between Nexenta and Supermicro really helps address that. We're not going to spend a ton of time here talking about the hybrid nature of some of our solutions, but the great thing is, again, as it being a software-only solution, we're able to help you build a hybrid strategy, either for your backup, for your test dev, whatever it might be, to complement your overall business. And all these things, you're going to talk about flexibility, right? So being able to be flexible from a hardware standpoint, we talk about all-flash hybrid, spinning disk, these are all different configurations that we're going to spend some time here talking about. As we drill into some of the different examples of different workloads, we're going to touch on this as we talk about why we've focused on each of these different configurations. But real quick, you're going to see a focus, and again, I'm not going to steal Andy's thunder at the end, but Flash is an area, obviously, a lot of organizations are looking to take advantage of, not just the performance component, but also how we're able to do that in a cost-effective manner and give you the flexibility that you need, right? So that can be small capacities, high performance, larger capacities that traditionally you may not have put on all flash, but just due to some of the prices that we can hit today and some of the configurations which we can deliver may allow you to get traditionally focused flash workloads onto flash. Virtual workloads is something we've done well for quite some time, running on Supermicro technology. One thing we've also seen a lot of pickup and a lot of interest, we're not going to spend much time here today, but is looking at how we can also complement other third-party technologies in your data center. So leveraging Nexenta and maybe leveraging a hyperconverged environment or another block storage solution, and adding on a virtualized version of our software to further extend those technologies to deliver file services to those workloads. If you've got those technologies in your environment, that can then complement your other bare metal deployments of Nexenta. And then the last two categories, backup and archive has been a sweet spot for us for quite some time. A wide range of our customers are deployed in that environment, and we'll talk about some configurations here today. And then containerized environments is something we're seeing a great deal of pickup. We're not going to focus today's session too much on that, but if it is something that you're looking at how we can potentially help you in your storage environments, it might be potential something we can do as a follow-up. So real quick before I hand it over to the Supermicro team and Andy to talk a little bit more about the technologies in which we have together, a quick walkthrough of the Nexenta portfolio. NexentaStor is our full-featured software-defined storage for our enterprise solutions. The core of our discussion today and the configurations which we are going to discuss today is going to be focused on leveraging NexentaStor. Again, if you have interest in maybe leveraging Nexenta Cloud or scale-out SDS for cloud-native apps, that could be a follow-up discussion. Supermicro actually also has a great landing page for Nexenta Edge and some of the configurations that we have on that platform. Nexenta Cloud is our enterprise NAS for public clouds. And so as I touched on a second ago, building hybrid clouds, a lot of things we're going to talk about today can leverage Nexenta Cloud if you have certain workloads that you might want to run in a public cloud environment. And then our comprehensive centralized management and analytics, Nexenta Fusion, a great single point of management as you look at all these different configurations and managing them from a single point, being able to do the day-to-day operations and having that intelligence around your analytics is extremely powerful, and we believe can really help your business through leveraging Nexenta Fusion. So that's the quick on Nexenta and the software. And really at this point, I'm excited to hand it over to Les. Les, welcome again to today's webinar. You're going to talk a little bit more about the Supermicro Nexenta storage solutions.
Okay, thank you, Don, and thank you everyone for making time. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our virtual appliance that we've created. Next slide, please. So, traditional storage, a typical appliance, your typical dual controller appliance that you might get from an EMC or a NetApp or somebody like that, has a proprietary controller. There's a proprietary storage operating system, and the disks have proprietary firmware. Now, why is that important? With proprietary firmware, you're at the mercy of the storage supplier. You have to buy the disks from the storage supplier, and those disks carry a 7 to 10 times markup over market prices. In addition, you're going to pay extra for the other hardware as well as for the operating system. In software-defined storage, on the other hand, we have industry standard X86 servers, an open source storage, and standard disks with standard firmware, so you can buy the disks anywhere. Well, this is software-defined storage has a lot of benefits. It's also complex to put together. You will require skills that not every shop has, such as in finding the right hardware components, procuring them, tuning the whole system. And it is fairly complex to engineer from all these loose parts. So you really need someone that integrates all of this stuff together, both the hardware and the software. Next slide, please. So that's exactly what Supermicro and Nexenta together have done. We have come up with certified hardware reference architectures that will give you all the flexibility you won't normally get in an appliance. And William will talk a little bit more about those a little later. And then we have built a total solution on a single SKU, an appliance. Everything's been integrated, tested, validated, and you get full support from Supermicro or from Nexenta, depending on where you choose to buy the system. It's a single point of contact. Everything's been integrated, tested, and is fully supported. And I'll go into a little more detail on these in a little bit. Next slide, please. So how these fit in terms of options and deployment time, they have regular reference architectures, which take a little bit longer to deploy. Then you have configured reference architectures that have been fully tested. And you have the total solutions, which is the appliance, which I just spoke to you about, and that has a very, very short deployment time and inherently low risk. Next slide, please.
Here, Leslie, before, if you don't mind, I'm going to just jump in because I think this is a pretty powerful component in which we've built together Supermicro and Nexenta, where, depending on your business, depending on your, really, I guess, skills, resources, or I guess, also how much you want to take on in a sense, right? We give you that set of options that allows you to choose what is right for yourself. So as you mentioned, we got a total solution. So if you want hands-off appliance-like, boom, hey, that's something we can take care of it for you. If you want a little bit more of a flexible option that can get the software installed, handheld on the up and running, and really ease of getting going, but a little bit more flexibility than the total solution gives you, we've got that. And then the reference architectures. I think it's important to call out that both organizations, yourself, William, Andy, spend a lot of time looking at the line in which you have the wide range of technology you have there at Supermicro, how our software fits in those different configurations and gives the total flexibility. So depending on where you are in this curve and what you need for your environment, it's exciting from the Nexenta standpoint to be able to deliver that with Supermicro.
So what you have with these software-defined storage solution is all the benefits of software-defined storage, more flexibility, lower costs, and in the case of our appliance, all the convenience of an appliance. So we do all the heavy lifting for you, so you can easily deploy these. Next. So the appliance solution is a dual controller, much as you'd get on any other appliance, and fully unified storage, both block and file. And we have it available both in flash, hybrids, and all disks. They come with inline data reduction, snapshots and clones, all the features you would normally expect from enterprise storage supplier, and service and support are included for up to 5 years, your choice as to response time and length of the service contract. Next. So I'm not going to dwell on this. As I said before, we have an all-flash, and incidentally, William, a little bit later, will be talking about some exciting promotions we have in this area. We have hybrid systems, a mix of flash and hard disk drives, and then we have an all magnetic disk drives. You're going to get the slides so you can look at all of these things, the details. Next.
Yeah, Les, real quick, sorry again, I'm going to jump in and interrupt you. One thing that, again, is powerful from an Nexenta standpoint on this slide, outside of all the things that I think you're going to go into some of the specifics on the different configurations, is we've worked together to build these single SKUs, right? So you can see that top line there, models. Those are the SKUs that you can go to Supermicro, request pricing today and order, right? And so this is the hardware, the software, and as you just mentioned, the 3 years support is included, and installation service is included in this. So we've really tried to simplify things as you're talking about the solutions here, the appliances, down to a single SKU to allow organizations that just want to consume the technology as an appliance, but gain all the benefits of the flexibility and software definedness, in a sense, that we offer together in an easy fashion. So just wanted to briefly jump in and call that out. Sorry for interrupting you.
No worries. Thank you for pointing that out. So the all-flash with the next 2010 and 2020. This is a unified storage, dual controller. They start hot, half populated. And they can also be expanded. The 2010 can be expanded with 1 additional JBOD. The 2020 can be expanded with 2 additional JBODs. As I said, they start half populated. It's unified storage. Runs any block protocol, such as Fiber Channel or SCSI or NFS or SMB. They also have high availability features and data protection features, such as local and remote replication. You have snapshots, and you have compression for data management. Next. The 4010 and 4020 are sold fully populated. Again, they're a dual controller. These contain some flash, and the rest is disk drive. The feature set is the same. The 4010 can be expanded with two JBODs, and the 4020 also with 2 JBODs. Next. The 4030 is an all rotational media, what you might call a cheap and deep type of storage. It is fully populated and can be expanded with 2 expansion shelves. And this is ideal for cold storage, backup, things like that. Next. Actually,
Les, we have a question that I think might just came in. You might have just touched on it, but I want to just call it back out. You know, is the storage capacity for the total solutions also expandable with JBODs? And I think you touched on it, but maybe can you expand on that a little bit? You know, especially as you get down into the 767 terabytes, right?
Right. The 2 expansion shelves that are mentioned on the slide, I called them JBODs. Yes.
Okay, so they do have that. Okay, they do have flexibility to do that, I guess, up front, right? If they wanted to get into higher capacities or over time add additional capacity to those same clusters, they have the flexibility to do so. Okay, beautiful, good to know.
Yeah. So currently we're able to do configuration with 44 bays JBODs. In the future, we're thinking about adding a 60 bay and a 90 bay option. So that's to be coming soon.
Great, thanks, Andy, appreciate that.
Thanks. So here's where we see the typical target use cases for these. So your all-flash will be for transactional applications, databases in particular, virtual machines and virtual desktops, so you can defeat the boot problems you get initially when you get the boot storm, a bunch of people logging in at the same time. And the all-flash configurations are ideal for that. The hybrids are great for virtual environments, home share, enterprise files, things like Outlook. And the all rotational ones are great for backups and archives, applications like Veeam, Veritas, Commvault, Symantec Net Backup, and so forth. And also they're useful for disaster recovery and for compliance archives that you don't expect to have to come back to very often. So you want that on the most cost-effective media around. And that's all I have for now. So thank you, Don. I'll pass it back to Don.
Great, Les. Really appreciate you covering the total storage appliance and solution for us here today. I know we've done some other webinars in the past and gone over some details there. So really good refresher here. One other thing that just popped in my mind that I know we've spent some time together on as we went into those workloads, right? We've set these boxes up, the all-flash hybrid and rotational solutions to also have the appropriate RAID configuration based on those workloads. So there's actually two different configurations of, if you recall the part numbers on that one chart there, there's two different configurations of the hybrid depending on the type of workload in which you're looking for, right? So if you need something with a bit more performance, we've built the configuration to support drive capacity and RAID configurations to deliver that. And that's something that you'll get when you purchase this appliance, get up and running as part of the installation service in a nice, easy fashion. So with that, again, Les, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to William to take us to a little bit more on the reference architectures.
Thanks, Les and Don. So yeah, let's go to the next page. So besides the appliance-like solutions, NexentaStor also has another product line called reference architectures. As you know, NexentaStor is a scale-up turnkey solution. What customers can get is a one-stop shop, opportunities of future expansion by adding more Supermicro JBODS to scale up to petabytes. And to ensure the good quality, the solution are fully tested and integrated at Supermicro before shipping. The solution comes with standard warranty, including 3-year labor, 1-year parts, and 1-year cross-ship for the complete system with CPU, memory, and hard drive. Customers can also have their own choices by adding on-site next business day or on-site 4-hour service. So service includes Supermicro Global Service with Nexenta Remote and Gold support. Therefore, Supermicro and Nexenta have come up with reference architectures with several predefined configurations for storage ranging from 20 terabytes to 5 petabytes as shown in the picture. Users can pick any of the RA, we call it reference architectures RA. They can pick any of them and adjust the configuration based on their needs. So here, the picture shows how our reference architecture looks like. With 2 controllers, the solution is fully redundant with feature of high availability. Expandable storage with JBODS can save users CapEx. User can also start from small storage size and expand more in the future. Nexenta software is deployed on any x86 hardware. With the advantage of software defined, we can reduce the cost significantly. And one more special thing I want to point out here is Nexenta offers perpetual software license. That means users don't have to repurchase the software license for the original size of storage capacity when they want to do the hardware upgrade in the future.
Yeah, William, I think thanks for calling that out on the Nexenta software. I think it's something that some folks aren't aware of, right? Is the great thing about the software solution which we offer and how you can really extend the overall total cost of ownership is leveraging this perpetual license, right? So maintain your support, keep up and running, and as you want to take advantage of the next cool thing coming out from Supermicro, easily you can migrate that workload to that and take advantage of that license. Appreciate you mentioning that.
And one thing I want to point out here is we are implemented it on X11, the latest X11 platform, which means we are using Intel scalable family CPU. And that's a quick spec for the controller head nodes. And I think I won't go through the details line by line, but the most important part is we are using CPU, Intel scalable family CPU. And one more thing we can pay attention to here is the server has many PCI slots, so which can that can offer the flexibility for users' networking cards and some AI card options. For users who want to add more features such as SFP plus fiber channel, we are also flexible to adjust the configuration.
So just again, we had a question coming. I think you just answered it. But the question is, when will Supermicro systems with Xeon processors, CPUs, like I'm not going to mention the part number, be certified? And you're saying they're certified today?
Yes.
Wonderful. Great. That's some of the work in which you guys have been doing together, getting us on the X11 platform and taking advantage of some of those new features in those new CPUs. That's great.
Actually certified, and it's on our HCL on our website. Plus, we actually skewed it up at Supermicro. Makes it easier to get it quoted and approved through the system over there.
Okay, beautiful.
And this page shows our most popular servers that have been certified by Nexenta. We will load Nexenta software in production on these head nodes before shipping. And as you can see, the first two on the left side, that's for the RA. And the right-hand side, the last two on the right-hand side, that's for the appliance-like model, which Les just mentioned before.
Next page.
And the next page shows all the certified JBODS we have come up with Nexenta. Depending on your storage density, we have different form factors to choose. Customers can choose the drive base from 24 to 44, 60 to 90. And we also have different hot swappable drives for top loading, front loading, and rear loading. Different configuration for your rack. And we also have 2.5 inch and 3.5 inch form factors on the drives.
William, question just came in. How many JBODs can a typical head box be extended to?
Theoretically, we can expand up to 8 JBODs per clusters. So depending on the performance requirement, we will suggest the customers with the configurations. So basically, we will listen to the customer's performance requirements and fine-tune the configurations for the customers. But basically, we can hook up the JBODs up to numbers up to 8.
So you guys have the flexibility on the head nodes to attach that many JBODs.
Yes. So the limitation of the number of JBODs that can be connect to the servers is on the PCI slot.
Yep.
Yeah. So as long as we have many PCI slots, and we can connect more JBODS.
Right. The key though is what we normally recommend is check out the hardware compatibility list. We go into that based on the different workloads, right? Because if you're going to need a bit more performance, we may not suggest that you go down to that level of expandability on that particular configuration. So has the flexibility. The answer is maybe varies based on your needs.
The reason why it's limited to 8 is the amount of PCIe slots, and we don't like the daisy chain, and so that's why we limit it to 8, and still allow you to have the network card that you need.
Yeah, to ensure the performance, we don't use daisy chain, the traditional daisy chain. So each JBODs are independently connected to the server handles. That's the configuration we want to go with.
Great. Wonderful, William. Well, I appreciate you taking us through the reference architectures there. I think it's exciting that we've got the latest platform from Supermicro, the X11 solutions available here today on our hardware compatibility list. So thank you again for taking the time and all your hard work and efforts to make it happen and get us to this point. Before we jump into the exciting promotion which Andy's going to cover, and we've got really want to thank everybody for their great number of questions here. We're trying to get them in as fast as we can, but to keep things flowing a little bit. I wanted just to hit on a few quick takeaways from today's session. First, we've talked about sort of like two different buckets, right, of solutions. Less really focused on a nice dense configuration which we have, leveraging a box which has the head nodes and the storage all in one, right? A 2U or 4U form factor with expandability, as Andy mentioned, on the storage enclosures. So you've got a nice configured, easy to order, single SKU, fully supported, and installation included, all within this storage appliance, which let's walk us through. And as William touched on, when you're looking at a little bit more flexibility or needing different capacities, maybe a little bit different drive sizes, whatever it might be outside of that appliance model. The great thing is we've done some great work together and have the hardware compatibility list and reference architectures that support that. So I think it's a key takeaway is you've got that ultimate flexibility. The great thing is this all is being leveraged by our Nexenta store in this sense, right? Nexenta Store software solution. Right, so based on all those different configurations, you can leverage the same software package to run all those different applications in your workloads. And again, I mentioned this a second ago, but the integration and centralized support is done through Supermicro. So really trying to make it easy for folks that want to take advantage of all the benefits that we've mentioned here in today's webinar, but get in a very tight, simplified appliance-like manner. A few items that we want to just highlight on where you can learn more. Supermicro has a great solutions page. We got a link here to the solutions page on their website. The reference architectures, we'll include that in the email follow-up, so you'll have that available. A lot of joint collateral, so you can see a white paper, the reference architecture guide, and the data sheet for our appliance together. All great quick reference information for your knowledge and learning a little bit more. And then if you'd like to take advantage of the Nexenta software, we've got a free 45-day trial that you can download and get working with here today, if that's something you'd like to take advantage of. So before we turn into the questions, I'm going to turn it over to Andy real quick, and Andy's going to introduce a promotion that we're going to launch here today. Exclusive to you guys because you're the first ones to hear about it, but something that Andy, I'll turn it over to you to share more about.
Thanks, Don. So we've worked with Supermicro, Seagate, and Nexenta executives, and we got approval to reduce the MSRP pricing by 15%. Plus, Seagate actually has allocated 3.84 SSDs. 3.84 terabyte SSDs for this promotion. So you don't have to wait. If you're ready to order, the systems are ready to be shipped out. So the thing that I want to bring to your attention is, if you already have a sales rep, just go to them and get it quoted. As Don and Les mentioned earlier, we have model SKUs that are SKU'd up at Supermicro, and those are ready. If you don't have a sales rep and you want to know who your sales rep is, or you need a contact, you could always email us at Supermicro@Nexenta.com, and then I will help to reroute some of the sales quotations.
Great. And this is exciting. I mean, we're seeing a lot of traction in these solutions within our customers, right? It's been something that's really done well, and I think it hits even at the list price, it's a great spot from a pricing standpoint, and also addressing performance and the workloads that folks are looking at. A question came in: are these SKU'd prices available at disti? So the MSRPs are not at every single distributor. So we've touched on a couple of our UK distributors and distributors in the US have the MSRP pricing. To be honest, we just got this pricing approved on Friday for this new discount. So you can easily, though, go to those distributors and work with Andy here, and email us at Supermicro@Nexenta.com, and we can get that reduced refresh pricing at those distributors across the US, UK, and other parts of Europe.
This is probably the most popular product line, the all-flash, and that's why all three executives agreed that, hey, we're going to hit it hard and we're going to discount it deep. Typically, you don't see this kind of discount at Supermicro because they are a value player already, and having a steep discount like this is somewhat unheard of. And so that's why all three executives said, look, we want to help you guys and sell as many as we can, and they actually allocated drives for us also.
Great.
Yeah, so we value the partnership with Nexenta, so that's how why our CEO approved this deal, the special deal just for Nexenta.
Great. Thanks, William. Thanks, Andy, for working hard to make that happen. So this is live here today, and runs through the month of almost the full month of September. So a great opportunity to take advantage of a discount here. So with that, I again appreciate all these great questions. We're going to get to some more of them here in a second, but want to thank Les, William, Andy again for all your hard work to get us these solutions to this point, and all the collateral and everything behind it, and also for your time here in today's webinar. Really, truly appreciate that. With that, I'm gonna turn it into the questions, because we've got a lot of good ones here. So I'm gonna start with, and we didn't touch on this much, so I think it's a good one to call out. Can I purchase a one head node instead of a two head node for the reference architecture? So someone that does not need a high availability configuration, is that possible, and is that something we have supported?
We do, and it's you can buy basically a 36 bay, that's a single head node, or you can buy the 24 bay. Instead of buying dual, you can buy single. But for the SBB appliance are pre-configured, so you have to buy it as a dual node configuration.
Great.
Yeah, SBB already has two nodes in one box, so it already comes up with HA.
Great. There's a question here. I think it's a good one. And I think I'm putting you guys on the spot a little bit. When will Nexenta support the new ruler SSD already supported by Supermicro? I know that's something that is relatively new within the Supermicro product line. Can you guys just talk to, is that something we're looking at? Any feedback for the audience?
So our engineering is looking at that. They're doing testing. So that could be a future option for us.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see what else we got here. I think we've touched on this, but I'll just make sure the person got it maybe clarified. Is the storage solution, so I think the product Les touched on, is it fully integrated and tested by Supermicro or Nexenta? Les, do you maybe just want to refresh folks for answering that question?
Yeah. Could you run the question by me again?
Yeah, sure. So is the storage solution fully integrated and tested by Supermicro or Nexenta?
Yes, to both. We fully integrate it with the Nexenta software, and we test it. We test the workloads, we test the performance and everything. So it's an appliance. It's a plug it in and go.
Wonderful.
So I think to add to that is actually typically in an appliance, the customer wants a one neck to choke. Supermicro actually will take first level call, and if there's any software issues at that point, then they will call us, but they are the one neck to choke in the sense that they take first level call, they do all the hardware, they do all the support behind the appliance.
Great. So we've got a question here that individual has already implemented the Nexenta Supermicro solution. So thank you for that. The Supermicro hardware has HBAs connected to fiber channel and integrated an older platform. We want to present fiber channel storage through Nexenta to serve as an iSCSI. Is this possible now or in the next version of Nexenta? Is that something, Andy, you know offhand, or we may take that offline?
We may have to take that offline and ask our technical team to if that's function and features here, or is it a future release?
Okay, yeah, apologize for that, but thank you for your investment and partnership there. We'll take your questions, Percy, and follow up with you after the session here today. Let me see here what else we've got. Does Nexenta support 100 gig Ethernet cards?
I think we support 40. I'm not sure if we support 100 yet.
100. We support 20, 25, 40 gig, and 100 gig is in the roadmap.
Okay, so something we're working on, currently not available. We'll follow up, Gustavo, with you on timing and better understand your needs for that and see how we can work with you on that. So thank you for your question. Let's see what else we've got. Touch on those. Guys, so I think that's, a majority of the question. We've got some duplicates here and some individual follow-ups and research for that. But really thank the audience for all the activity and thank you for joining here today. I'm going to go around just the group real quick and any final closing words, Les, anything from your side you want to just close on here today?
No, I think you've covered this pretty thoroughly. So
good stuff, Les. Thank you again, William.
Thank you, and appreciate it for your attendance, for all the attendees.
Cool, and Andy.
I couldn't have done the 15% without the support from Les and William and their executive team and Seagate's executive team. Just could not have done that.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, we're excited and excited to take this to our customers and feel this is going to be a great opportunity. So, folks, thank you again for your time, for joining us here today. As mentioned, you'll get the slides here in the next 24 hours. You'll get the recording of the session. Anybody interested to get engaged here as soon as possible, just email supermicro@nexenta.com is the easiest fashion. And then any follow-up questions or any questions we did not get to, apologies for not having those answers for you immediately. We will, though, work diligently to get you some answers here soon. Thank you again for joining. Thank you guys for your time. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.